friends? Hope you're doing well. So, I got a new hockey jersey. It came today in the mail. If you're a Simpsons fan, you'll know this. It's from a really obscure episode where Grandpa Simpson basically talks about being in the war, and he was in a squadron, platoon, I'm not sure what the terminology is, called the Fighting Hellfish. And he has a whole thing with Mr. Burns about it. It's a pretty good Simpsons episode. Anyway, look it up. I think it's called like Raging Ape Simpson and the Curse of the Flying Hellfish or something like that. It's in season, I think it's somewhere in like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. Anyway, so I'm wearing this jersey because I want to talk about hockey, because hockey is coming up this season. We're about 100 days away from the start of the season, which I'm pumped about. I'm so pumped because I want to do well. I want to do well this season because I wanted to do last season good, and I just did not. I had all these health problems, and I missed like half the games. And then when I did like get back in, and I was just getting like penalties a lot. Some of them were like big guy penalties because I am much larger than a lot of the other players, and some of them were just probably good goals. But I feel like I got unfairly called a lot. But that's beside the point. So I wanted to talk today, I wanted to ramble today about the training. I think I'm going to be, because I haven't put a lot of thought into how I'm going to train. I've kind of just been haphazardly doing it, but we're going to war. We're going to hockey war about it. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So I thought the jersey was fitting, and then I actually got another jersey today. They have the company that makes this jersey. It's a company called geekyjerseys.com. So geeky, like a geek. If it's hard to enunciate when you whisper sometimes. That's where I got my movies jersey. If you, that makes a good sound. That'd be a good ASMR video. So I got the movies one, if you're familiar with Kevin Smith films, and then today they launched a quick stop one, and I got that too. And they both, the movies one and the quick stop one, both sold out in like less than an hour. So I'm pretty pumped I got those. Which is how I found the site, because Kevin Smith had talked about doing jersey collaborations, and I love Kevin Smith, and I love his hockey jerseys, so I was like, yeah. And then the movies one, I was like, I wanted the quick stop one, but okay, I bought that one. And there's two other like really obscure Kevin Smith ones on there that are still available. It's like the Monroeville Zombies, which was in Second Mary Make a Porno, with like in like one scene, like barely. It's so obscure. And then there is a Leonardo Reapers one, which I guess maybe is part of Clerks 3. I'm not sure. I don't know where else that one will come into play. So anyway, I'm starting to think like, I might make hockey jerseys my thing, because I kind of like wearing them. And my girlfriend loves to steal them and wear them around the house as like house clothes. So there you go, guys. Like if you want your girls to stop stealing your hoodies, get some hockey jerseys and then put one on her, and she'll probably steal those instead. I'm getting back into the turbo chuggers for water, trying to be hydrated more, get back on my hydration game. But I still got the Zevia, still got the love for the Zevia. Anyway, getting back onto it. So, I made a shorts, called The 4 Qualities of a Good Hockey Player, or something like that, where I said that the 4 qualities a good hockey player needs are skating, stick handling, shooting, and hockey IQ. So the question kind of becomes like, well, how do we train for those things? And it's like, okay, well, there's a lot of ways you could train for them. And so I want to just like kind of spaghetti ramble out my thoughts. This is just kind of a free flow stream of consciousness to kind of help me firm it up. And maybe it's interesting to you, maybe it's not. Maybe it's boring and it'll help you fall asleep. In that case, mission accomplished. And maybe it's exciting and it won't help you fall asleep, but it'll help you get better at hockey, in which case, Mission accomplished. Okay, so let's get on to it. So, skating. First of all, skating is a big one because if you can skate fast, if you can skate well, well, you can make a lot more mistakes, and you're gonna get a lot more opportunities. If you can buy yourself time and space on the ice, obviously that's gonna help. So, to that end, it's like, well, what makes a good skater? Like, so there's a couple things. First of all, you gotta have good technique, as far as like being good on your edges, having good form, being able to get low. It's not so much bend your knees, but it's get your knees over your toes. Because if you can get your knees over your toes and keep your heels in, because a lot of the power comes from the heels, but you get your knees over your toes. Try this next time you're on the ice. Stand and then squat in such a way that your knees go over your toes, and you'll just go forward, like without having to do anything else. So when you think about having that like initial momentum, like huge step, that's a huge relief. The problem is like holding that position is tough, so you're gonna have to work on that. And so that's part of what we're gonna be doing in our skating training. But what makes a good skater is, so obviously good form. There's a tiny percentage of like your blade hollow and your blade profiling can make a difference. I haven't messed with that stuff at all, so I think there's some gains to be had there that I haven't really messed with, because I skate with a 3/8 hollow, which is a very deep hollow, because I like to have a lot of bite, and I'm a fairly fast skater relative to the people in my league, but I've been playing with some better guys who are in upper leagues, and I'm thinking, well, maybe I could stand to have some more glide, so I might experiment a little bit with a different hollow and go to a more shallow hollow, because a more shallow hollow has a better glide profile, which means it takes less effort to skate in a straight line, or I guess straight line would be back and forth. But I like the maneuverability, the stops and starts. Since I'm a big guy, I like the biting into the ice because my center of gravity is so high, and so I feel like that can help me make more aggressive maneuvers. And I think that's change of direction is a lot more important in hockey than straight line speed, I think. So obviously technique is big. And for that one, I got a book. This was the one that was recommended by the hockey subreddit. I'll put a link in the description, a little affiliate link, so I get money. But this is what was recommended. I haven't dug into it too much yet, but it looks pretty thick. This is probably going to be a bit of a slog to read through, so I'm probably going to have to, break it up every day with just a couple pages a day. So I got that. And then I'm going to, obviously practice on the ice. I try to get on the ice once, twice a week at least. I'm thinking about, because I do pickup games about twice a week when I'm able to. And so I'm thinking about trading that for just one pickup game a week and then one stick time a week. So that way I can spend more time to just focus on the skills as opposed to the game time play. And I think that'll help, because lately lately I've been skating in 2 pickup games. One is a skate where almost everybody is better than me, and then one is a skate where I'm always in the top half, if not like one of the top 5 guys. And then some of the people are like beginners, and so like there used to be 3 levels of skate that I would go to with these people, and I was fine going to the beginner skate because like I was still skating with people that were at my level and skating with people that were way better than me, and then I would just go down to the lower level because they didn't have enough numbers. But lately their ice time went away, and so now some of them come to the intermediate skate, and then it just slows everything down. And I feel like I still get some good ice time out there, but I think my time would be better. My time is better spent maybe working on my own skills at my own pace, on my own time, doing that instead. Because then I get the whole time on the ice if I want it. More ice time and more focused. And then I could take that to the higher skate. So there's that. But makes you a fast skater is there's a formula to it, and it's your relative strength plus your stride frequency plus your stride length. So to break that down, relative strength is how much you weigh versus how much force you can produce. So think about it as me, I weigh like 260, right? So I have to produce 260 pounds for every step. Whereas if you weighed 120, you only have to produce 120 pounds. So you see how being smaller could make you faster if you could produce more force. Because theoretically, it's like if you produce 300 pounds of force, you're going to go pretty fast. Versus if I produce 300 pounds of force, I'm not going to go as fast, right? Because I got more junk in the trunk. So getting stronger is obviously a big part of that. The problem is I don't have a ton of access, and I live in an apartment, so I can't really get a squat rack up here. And even in my garage, it's kind of taken up with hockey tiles for the most part, and putting a squat rack would kind of mess up that space as a shooting space, which isn't great. Also, the cost of just buying a squat rack. The apartment does have a gym, and there are some like leg machines in it, so I might go mess with that. But I think I'm mostly gonna focus on kettlebells, doing cleans and swings, deadlifts, squats, all that good stuff. Doing hip thrusts, which is supposed to be like the best thing you could do for your glutes, which is like a major muscle in, going faster. And then doing like a lot of the knees over toes training, which I think will help a lot with, as I was talking about earlier, of like if you just get your knees over your toes, you move forward. So there's a guy on Instagram called the Knees Over Toes guy. His name's Ben Patrick. He's got a whole system, and it's kind of geared towards basketball, but a lot of it carries over to hockey. So if you're interested, check that out. You can get a month for like $25, or you used to be able to, and then just get the coaching feedback for that first month and then cancel it, because that's all you really need. Is like, because after that, the beginner program is just what it is, and it's just continuous doing that until you are ready to load it up with weight, which could be weeks or months down the line. So there's no point in paying for it once you have the form down. So that's how I kind of want to get that down. And then you've got stride frequency, which my understanding from the literature that I've read says like that's not really something you can train much after you get to a certain age. And I don't know if I agree with that or not. Because it's like a lot of like footwork drills, footwork speed type stuff. It's recommended, and I think there can be gains had, especially like I think you hit a ceiling after a certain age, but I think you could still close the gap between where you're at and the theoretical high spot. I think those things are just more effective when you're young, so I'm still gonna do them because if nothing else, it's a lot of high rep on the small muscles, the small tendons, the small nooks and crannies, and I think it will help with injury prevention, which is a big thing, and strengthening, those weird tendons and the weird muscles that you don't think about. So there's that. And then stride length is all about mobility. How flexible are you? How much can you, get that stride out? And there is a YouTube channel called hockeytraining.com. They sell some premium programs, but they have some YouTube stuff where you can like follow along workouts, and they have a lot of mobility stuff, which is awesome. So check that out if you want to increase your stride length. And then I'm also going to be doing original strength resets, which it's a mobility type thing. And if you just Google original strength big 5 resets, there's 5 that are like recommended for everybody. And I was doing those kind of before I got hurt back a couple years ago when I first got into hockey, and that's when I was feeling the fastest I was skating. Is I lost a bunch of weight, and I was down to like 237, and I was doing mobility stuff, and I was just flying on the ice. So I'm like, okay, that worked, do that again. It makes sense, right? So get back into that. So it's like, for skating, it's it's like knees over toes plus kettlebells plus original strength, and I think that'll cover my strength training. For kettlebells, I'm kind of gonna follow. There's a guy on YouTube named Mark Wildman, and he has these videos that he calls the Tetris of training. If you follow that, it's essentially one light day, one heavy day of 4 exercises. It's like clean and press, squat, swing, and Turkish get up. And he says if you do those 4, you're pretty much covered. And then I'm adding in the knees over toe stuff 3 to 5 days a week. Probably 3 days a week, because their program is like 3 days, and then 2 days are for upper body and recovery, but I'll just do my own stuff for the upper body. And then I'm also gonna swing clubs and maces, because it's just a lot of fun. It helps a little with hockey because it's a lot of rotational work and core strength, so there's that to it, which I think should help my shot, because it's also a lot of grip strength. But this might be a lot of wear and tear on the grip, so I might ease into this whole program. So we're thinking kind of knees over toes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then also hip thrusts Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then doing the kettlebell stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I think, or maybe Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Might actually be better than you have the rest day, like a light day on Wednesdays. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then doing original strength every day, and then swinging weight on maybe focusing that on either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, and maybe alternating back and forth. But that'll cover, geez, we're already 17 minutes in and I'm just on skating. But the rest of the stuff, I don't have as much to talk about. So that's that. That's skating. That's the big part. It's like, okay, technique. Going into the drop-in, gonna read this power skating book, do the stuff in it. Also gonna follow along with, there's a guy, his name's I Train Hockey. His name's Sean Walker. He's got a great YouTube channel, a bunch of stuff, so I'll probably do some of that stuff too. Because videos are just easier to follow, right? So, that. Stick handling. I got a super digger. I don't know if you can see it here, it's down on the ground. Boom, super digger. Oh, I'm also gonna ride the bike for skating. I got a recumbent bike, and then I also have a Rogue Echo bike down in my garage. But so I have a super digger, which, if you're not familiar, it's like a little game where you these little dots show up and you move the puck over the dot and you get a point, and you have 45 seconds to get as many points as you can. There's some things I do like about it, some things I don't like about it. I wish it had an infinite mode where it just didn't just stop every 45 seconds. Which is fine, and it's a little expensive. It's $300, but I got it used on the Facebook Marketplace for like 150, like 170, whatever, like half price, which is great. And so I was like, at that price, sure, I feel like that's about what it's worth. So the $300 it's a little high. If you can find a used one, definitely go that route. So I'm gonna do that. I've also been thinking about doing a series of videos that I wanted to call like a stick handling library, where because I have all these like alpha stick handling drills I've accumulated off Instagram and YouTube and just going to hockey stuff over the last 30 years of my life, and just putting a YouTube catalog together. I have a YouTube channel for hockey stuff that I haven't really been messing with lately, and so just all the drills I can find, just put them on there as, the stick handling library, like, as many drills as I can think of. And I have a yellow sheet, and I have like 50, 60 drills on it. Like, there's way more I need to add to that sheet even still. So I'm like, that could be helpful for a lot of people, if not only for myself. But I kind of want year was as a goalie. But so I have a couple years of stick handling. Somebody who was really good played like junior hockey to do it. Gassy. And then someone who's like beginner level, kind of brand new to hockey, do it. And that way you can kind of see and you can gauge yourself, like how well you're doing. Just, I think it could be fun. But I don't think anyone really cares about that but me. So maybe I'll just do it myself and then make some comparison videos down the road if it's interesting to people. So that covers stick handling. Shooting, I have a garage set up, and I just need to get down there. And I think the big thing is I always feel like I need like a lot of time, and it's really been hot lately. I put a second fan in there, so that should help it be a little cooler. But I think I just need to go mentally be like, 5 minutes, just go spend 5 minutes in the garage, shoot some bucks, call it a day. Because what happens now is like I get down there like 2-3 times a week, maybe. And I think if I could just reduce that, like every time I leave the apartment, just leave 5-10 minutes earlier, shoot some bucks, and then go do whatever I was meant to do. And I think I'll get a lot more reps in that way. And then, when I get home, do 5-10 more, minutes. And that'll add up over the course of the next 100 days. Then finally, that brings me to hockey IQ, which is essentially knowing where the puck is going to go. Don't skate to where the puck is, skate to where the puck is going to be. So Wayne Gretzky quote, something like that. And so it's like, how do you build that skill? And I got a book for that, which it's digital. And it's like the Hockey Sense Handbook, something like that. I saw an ad on Facebook, and it was like $25. So I was like, all right, sure. And I've read most of it, and it's really good. So I think what I'm going to do is go back, read that book again, make flashcards, just some note cards because it's all like kind of broken down into chapters. It's really well done. It's really worth your $25. I'll include a link in the description that won't be an affiliate link. There's tons of good stuff in that book, especially if you're like novice, intermediate. If you're advanced, you probably know a lot of the stuff. Anyway, where was I going with that? Yeah, so building that. And then also, this is kind of a new announcement. There's something I've been looking at my stats, the analytics, and it seems like the videos that do best are the no talking videos on this channel, but then the hockey videos are like the second best. So I'm like, maybe I should lean into the hockey stuff more. And I think I want to do Let's Play, but Let's Play hockey. Because I used to have a GoPro on my helmet, and I would film the stuff, and then I just kind of it just was a lot of work to keep that up. Also because I wasn't getting any monetization from it because it was on a new channel. And so I'm like, well, what if I make ASMR Let's Play, and it's hockey? And then I could film from the head. I can record, just the highlight clips, cut it down to the 10 or 15 minutes or whatever, or even just the whole time I'm on the ice. I'm not sure what's best. If you have a preference, if you want a longer video or a more interesting one, like what's better, drop that in the comments. And then I think because I'll be getting some monetization from it, it might be a really cool series. I just have to mess with it and see. But in doing that, I'll be able to analyze myself and mistakes I made, what I could be doing better, and what I should be training for. So I think that'll go a long way. I also bought a book, which I don't have in my stack, of course. I have a whole stack of hockey-specific books. And then I have one more that goes on that, and then I have like 5 more like workout books I want to include. Anyway, it's about watching hockey specifically, and I think it's geared toward improving your hockey IQ by watching hockey. And so I might try to find time to go watch some games that are, after I read that book, watch some of the summer league games and kind of try to glean some insights that might be beneficial, so that way I can be a goal scoring machine next year, because I want to be the machine. I've also been watching a lot of Bert Kreischer, and that machine bit is. If you haven't heard of Bert Kreischer, I don't know how to spell it. It's like Bert, Kriescher, something like that. Him and Tom Segura have a podcast called Two Bears, One Cave or something like that. But he has this bit about taking a Russian class and going to Russia and getting involved in the mob, and it's amazing. But I want that, but for hockey. So there's that, and that's it. That's kind of my hockey rambling. So take some notes here. Stick handling, super digger, and hockey IQ. We got books, ASMR, let's play, and watching. Okay, so to recap all this, skating. Need to get stronger, need to get better technique. Gonna read this power skating book and try to get on the ice to practice the power skating. Gonna be working out with a lot of kettlebells. Trying to get these tree trunks, legs feed the wolf. Herb. The 1980s Olympic coach said that, the one where they beat Russia. Just get that going. Knees over toes, get more strength and mobility. And then foot speed drills to some extent. It's hard to do those in an apartment because the downstairs neighbors will get angry. So I got that. The plan is kind of knees over toes, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, plus hip thrusts, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Kettlebell stuff, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Original strength for mobility every day. And then swinging weight. Swinging weight might be an everyday thing too because I just love doing it. And I might just back off how heavy I go with them and kind of do more cruising weights, so to speak. Just keep that core nice and tight, get all that worked in. And then obviously it's going to depend on how well I can recover from all that. So I might move that around a little bit just to see, because right now I'm skating on Tuesdays, and then Thursday might be my stick time instead of going to the Thursday night pickup game. Maybe I'll go every other week. I don't know. We'll see. Stick handling, just taking the super deker out for 10-15 minutes a day, or longer. Shooting, gonna just try to mentally be like, block out 5 minutes to go down to the garage, shoot some bucks. Sorry. 5 minutes a day, try to accumulate, that 10,000, 20,000 shots before the season starts. And then hockey IQ, I got some books, and then doing these ASMR let's plays, for 100 days away. What is that? If it's every week, once or twice a week, there's 14 possible. If I go once a week, there's 14 times between then and now, and it could be as many as 28, which I think, talking through decisions, I think will go a long way. I think it'll pay dividends pretty quickly. And then watching hockey, trying to go to some of these summer league games, seeing what the people at my skill level are doing, and then doing it better than them when the season starts. And I think, I would really love it if, my big dream would be to score like 20 goals. But last season I didn't score any goals. So it's like, but the season before that I got 4. Because I had like health issues and I was gone for a big break, and then COVID happened, and then they kind of resumed play a little bit to finish out the season. And that was like back when it was like COVID happened, no one knew what to happen, everything shut down, and there was like 2 months, and they were like, okay, isn't hitting Nebraska that bad, so we'll ease things up a little bit, which is, it is what it was. And then when I went and I did that, I scored 2 goals, and it was the playoff championship game. I scored 1 goal and then 2 goals, so I had 3 goals in like 2 games, and I'm like, okay, yeah. And that was when I was at my peak, when I had lost a bunch of weight, stuff. It was flying on the ice. So I want to get back to that. And it's like, okay, if you think I averaged 1.5 goals in 2 games in the playoffs, and there's 20 some games in a season, it's like, could I get 20 goals? That'd be fucking awesome. That the top goal scorer every year gets in the 20s. It's like usually in the low 20s. And so it's like, man, if I can get there, I'd be stoked. If I can get to double digits to 10, that still puts me in the top 25 goal scorers or something like that in the league. So 10 is kind of my number for success. You know, I'm not gonna get too hard on myself if I don't hit 10, but I'm definitely, as the season burns through and I'm not approaching 10, I'm definitely gonna step up the training even harder and probably end up hurting myself because too much type A personality. So yeah, that's I guess that's the plan. Also, diet. I didn't even talk about that. Drinking more water. Going back to the low carb stuff. I've been doing terrible on my diet. I need to get back. And then doing intermittent fasting. So it's like fasting, biking, gym, getting time in the garage, shooting the pucks, reading the books, doing the work, getting the work in. And I think a big reason why all this is kind of stirring in my head is because lately I feel like my time as like a freelance camera person is slipping, as you know, more and more corporations are having in-house people. Even the ad agencies I used to work with have like an in-house person now, and so it's like it might be time to transition into something else. And I feel a little bit like I'm losing my identity, and hockey is something that I could, you know, that's not something I can really make a career out of. But I've been hyper focused on YouTube, which could be a career, and then hyper focused on hockey. And so it's like, well, if I combine hockey and YouTube, like, oh, my whole new identity. Sweet. Get paid to do what you love. That's awesome. But it feels like I've been doing that for the last 10 years. So anyway, yeah, that's it. That's a long one. It's been a while since I made a long one. So I hope you're doing well. And if not, I hope that turns around for you real soon. And I think, you know, break down, set a goal, break it down, get training for it. I think have something to be excited about, something to look forward to. I think that goes a long way to like jazzing up your mental psyche and getting you out of bed. You know, it's not going to cure your depression, but it might, if it helps even 1%, I think it's worth doing. And I think you're worth doing. That sounded sexual, and I'm sorry about it. Yeah, stick around, man. Because, you know, you got value, and you deserve to be here, and you deserve to fucking crush it, beer league hockey. Like, fuck yeah, right? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's go crush some beer league hockey. Let's go to war, baby.